In the past, there existed a practice where individuals with physical deformities were exhibited as attractions in circus shows. People would pay money and travel great distances to witness these displays, allowing them to observe the lives of others who had faced such challenges. While this approach is certainly highly inappropriate and exploitative by today's standards, it was an accepted form of entertainment in that era. Join us as we tell you about 12 circus freaks that actually existed. Number 12, Charles Sherwood Stratton. Charles Sherwood Stratton, better known as General Tom Thumb, was born on January 4, 1838, in Bridgeport, Connecticut. He grew normally for the first 6 months, reaching 63 centimeters tall and weighing about 7 kilograms. But then his growth stopped because of a problem with his pituitary gland, leading to dwarfism. When Charles was 4, the famous showman P.T. Barnum discovered him and made him a star at Barnum's American Museum. Barnum gave him the name General Tom Thumb and turned him into a performer. Charles amazed audiences with his funny sketches, musical acts, impersonations, and historical reenactments. He was known for his wit, charm, and incredible showmanship. Barnum promoted him as a wonder of nature and a marvel to behold, which made people very curious about him. In 1863, Charles married Lavinia Warren, who was also small, and they even met President Lincoln at the White House. They toured Europe, and Charles performed for Queen Victoria. Despite his small size, Charles became wealthy, owning a house in a fancy part of New York and a steam yacht. He passed away at 45 in 1883, having reached a height of 102 centimeters and weighing 32 kilograms. Number 11, Fanny Mills. Fanny Mills was born in 1860 in Sussex, England. When she was young, her family moved to Sandusky, Ohio. There, Fanny became known as the Ohio Bigfoot Woman. She had a rare condition called Milroy disease. This made her lower legs and feet swell up a lot. Her feet were about 48 centimeters, 19 inches long, and 18 centimeters, 7 inches wide. Her huge shoes, made from 3 goatskins, caught people's attention. Showmen wanted her to exhibit herself to make money for her family. At first, her father said no, but after he died in 1885, 25-year-old Fanny decided to go against her family's wishes. She joined the New Dime Museum on the East Coast with her friend Mary Brown's help. Fanny's performances, where she gracefully showed off her massive feet, amazed audiences. She earned a modest fortune from her deformities. Sadly, her health got worse after she had a stillborn baby in 1887. She retired from the New Dime Museum in 1892. Tragically, Fanny passed away at 39, unable to fully enjoy her fortune. Number 10, Josephine Myrtle Corbin. Josephine Myrtle Corbin was born on May 12, 1868, in Lincoln County, Tennessee, with a very rare condition called diphagus. This meant she had 2 separate reproductive systems and 4 working legs. When she was young, her father kept her in a room because of her unique look and charged people to see her until she was 13. At 13, she and her father started traveling to different towns, performing in sideshows and making good money. Josephine became famous in the late 19th and early 20th centuries as a sideshow performer. She amazed people with her unique body and entertaining personality. She showed she could walk, run, and even dance with her 4 legs. She performed with well-known circus companies like Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, impressing audiences with her skill and coordination. She was about 1.52 meters tall and married a doctor named James Clinton Bicknell when she was 19. They had 4 children, 3 girls and 1 boy, and Josephine gave birth to 3 of them using her 2 reproductive organs. Josephine passed away on May 6, 1928, at 59, from a rare skin infection. Her legacy goes beyond her performances as she challenged stereotypes and inspired others with her incredible talent and determination. Number 9, Felix Wear. Back in 1858, a young boy named Felix Wear was born in Mount Ida, Wisconsin. From an early age, Felix possessed an incredible ability to contort his body in ways that seemed impossible. He could stretch his skin out from any part of his body to about 10 centimeters, and he could bend his fingers backwards and forwards with ease. This rare physical condition was a result of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a connective tissue disorder that made his skin extremely flexible. With his elastic physique that went beyond normal limits, Felix found himself performing in various circuses and sideshows, including the famous Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. Felix's performances stunned audiences as he effortlessly folded his body into seemingly impossible configurations, maneuvering his limbs with unparalleled grace. He had to compete with another contortionist named James Morris, and the two masters of contortion battled it out for the title of the most elastic human alive. Little is known about Felix's life outside the circus tent, or the personal experiences and challenges he faced due to his unique physical condition. However, his ability to transcend physical limitations and carve a path for himself in the world of entertainment serves as a testament to his resilience and determination. Number 8. Robert Huddleston. Robert Huddleston, born around 1895 in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, faced a severe congenital deformity that stopped him from standing upright or using crutches. But this didn't hold him back. As a kid, he helped out on the family farm, doing chores like milking cows, loading livestock, and harvesting crops. Robert worked hard as a logging teamster, hauling logs for about 15 miles a day on a wagon. He tied wooden blocks to his hands with leather straps to protect them from rocks and bushes, which made his arms and shoulders super strong. During World War II, Robert worked as a blacksmith and briefly as a carpenter, proving he was determined to lead a productive life. After the war, he joined a small carnival in Texas and got the nickname Pony Boy. This led him to tour North America with the Tom Mix Circus sideshow, where he showed off his amazing agility and flexibility, including being able to throw his right leg over his shoulder. For 36 years, Robert made a living by displaying his unique abilities to audiences. After retiring to Fremont, California, he stayed active by restoring cars and raising rabbits. Robert Huddleston, also known as Pony Boy, lived life to the fullest and defied limitations until his passing in 1970. Number 7. Frank Lentini. Frank Lentini was a remarkable individual born with a rare condition called congenital malformation. He had 3 legs, 4 feet, and 16 fingers, along with 2 sets of reproductive organs. The 3rd leg protruded from the side of his right hip, with a 4th foot extending from his knee. Doctors believe this happened because a twin embryo didn't separate fully during development, leading to the partial formation of a second person. At first, Frank's family wanted to remove the extra leg, but doctors warned it could be life-threatening or cause paralysis. So at the age of 9, Frank came to America, where he met a skilled showman named Giuseppe Manano. Manano saw Frank's unique talents and made him part of his shows, calling him the only 3-legged football player in the world for his skill at kicking a soccer ball with his 3rd leg. Frank was incredibly athletic, jumping ropes, skating, and bicycling. He had a great sense of humor, making jokes about his 3rd leg being a convenient stool. As he traveled across the United States, Frank learned English fluently and was admired for his confidence and pride in his unique physique. In 1907, he married an actress named Teresa Murray, and they had 4 children together. Frank lived life to the fullest until his passing in 1996 due to lung failure. Number 6. Prince Randian. Prince Randian was born in 1871 in British Guiana, now called Guyana. He was only 1 meter tall because he had a rare condition called tetra amelia syndrome, which means he was born without arms and legs. Even though he looked different, Randian figured out how to live on his own. When he was 18, Randian met P.T. Barnum, the famous circus owner, who was amazed by his strength and independence. Randian moved to the United States to join the Barnum and Bailey Circus. There, he amazed people by showing how he could take care of himself, paint, shave, and even write using his mouth. His most impressive trick was rolling and lighting a cigarette with just his mouth, which wowed the audiences. Randian also acted in movies, including a famous one called Freaks from 1932. He used his skills to change how people thought about those with disabilities. After performing for over 40 years, Randian retired with plenty of money. He married a woman named Princess Sarah, and they had 4 children. The family settled on a farm in New Jersey and lived a peaceful life. Randian passed away on December 19, 1934. remembered for his incredible resilience and determination. Number 5. Chang Ang Bunker. Chang Ang Bunker were born in Siam, now Thailand, in 1811. They were conjoined twins, meaning their bodies were connected in a way that amazed everyone who saw them. They shared a physical connection called thoracophagus, which fused their bodies together. Even though they were physically joined, Chang and Ang had very different personalities. Chang was outgoing and lively, while Ang was more quiet and thoughtful. Their opposite personalities and shared body allowed them to create an incredible and funny show. They turned the idea of a freak show into an art form that combined astonishment and amusement. In 1843, Chang married Adelaide Yates, and Ang married her sister, Sarah Yates. Chang had 10 children, and Ang had 11 children. They didn't just want to be circus attractions, so they went on an international tour. They performed in famous venues across Europe and the United States, captivating audiences with their theatrical experiences. Chang and Ang's extraordinary story shows that the human spirit can overcome even the most peculiar circumstances. They embraced their unique connection and turned it into a source of strength, humor, and love. They defied convention, blended laughter with their astonishing physical bond, and became symbols of resilience and unity. Number 4. Dejo. Dejo, nicknamed the Invulnerable Man, was a Dutch performance artist famous for doing crazy things like piercing his body with swords and skewers without seeming to get hurt or feel pain. He became well known around the world in the mid-20th century because of his shocking and often controversial public shows. Dejo said that a supernatural being possessed him, which he believed let him do these incredible feats without getting seriously injured. Medical experts and skeptics tried to explain his abilities with theories like self-hypnosis or altered states of consciousness, but Dejo insisted his acts were not tricks or illusions. Throughout his career, Dejo had himself pierced with a rapier multiple times, showing off his unique physical resilience. He performed across Europe and the United States, amazing audiences with his bizarre and daring displays. Sadly, his life and career ended suddenly in 1948. After a performance, he died unexpectedly from an aortic rupture caused by swallowing steel. Even though doctors removed the steel 2 days later, it was too late and he passed away. Number 3. Edward Morke. Edward Morke was born in the 1800s into a wealthy English family. He had a very rare condition called craniopagus parasiticus, which means a partially formed twin developed and attached to the back of his head. Basically, there was an extra face on the back of his skull with its own eyes, nose, and mouth. According to stories, this extra face could whisper to Morke. It spoke in a voice that only he could hear. People say these whispers drove Morke crazy over time. He lived a very lonely life, deeply troubled by the presence of this extra face. Morke wanted doctors to remove the haunting face from the back of his head, but no doctor was willing to try such a risky operation back then. At the young age of 23, Morke tragically took his own life. While we don't know all the details of his life for sure, Morke's sad story has been passed down for generations. It shows that having an unusual physical condition didn't always mean living a life of joy and wonder, despite how circus freaks were sometimes portrayed. Morke's tale reminds us that deformities could bring great suffering too. Number 2. Isaac Sprag. Isaac Sprag was born in 1841 in East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. As a baby, he was chubby and healthy. However, when he turned 12, he suddenly lost a lot of weight despite eating normally. This was because of a condition called extreme progressive muscular atrophy. In his early adult years, Isaac tried different jobs like working as a cobbler with his dad and as a grocer. Sadly, his illness made it hard for him to keep a steady job. When his parents passed away, Isaac had no income, so in 1865 he joined a circus sideshow. People called him the living skeleton, or the original Thin Man. In 1866, the famous showman Barnum hired Isaac for his American Museum freak show, paying him $80 a week, which is around $1,300 today. In 1868, a fire destroyed the museum, but Isaac survived. Isaac married Tamar Moore, and they had 3 healthy sons. Financial struggles forced him to look for other jobs, but his condition made it difficult. By age 44, Isaac was 1.68 meters tall and weighed only 19.5 kilograms. He had to carry milk to sip on to survive. Isaac passed away in Chicago on January 5, 1887, at age 45. Despite his challenges, he lived an inspiring life and became a symbol of human strength and fragility. Number 1. Ella Harper. Ella Harper was born with a rare condition called congenital genu recurvatum, which made her knees bend backwards. Because of her unique way of walking on all fours, people called her the Camel Girl. In 1886, when she was 16, Ella became the star of Harris's nickel-plate circus. Her unusual appearance and entertaining performances made her famous across the country. Newspapers wrote a lot about her, and people loved her sense of humor. Ella earned a weekly salary of $200, which is about $6,800 today. This money gave her opportunities she might not have had otherwise. At 35, Ella married Robert Savelli, a schoolteacher and photography shop bookkeeper. They started a new chapter in their lives together. A year later, they had a baby girl named Mabel, but sadly, Mabel passed away when she was only 6 months old. Despite her fame and financial comfort, Ella passed away from cancer in 1921 at the age of 51. Ella's life reminds us that behind any label like freak or oddity, there is a complex person who deserves respect. Her story helps us understand the importance of celebrating the unique qualities in everyone. Which of these circus freaks surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to watch more videos we put together for you, click on one of them on the screen or check out the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.